Hey, it's Felton. This episode of the Nub Podcast is brought to you by the HWWS Media Group. Check them out on YouTube, HWWS WebTV.
Did you hit the thing?
There we go.
And welcome back to the Nub. I am the Murse, and I'm making my triumphant return after almost dying from the plague.
And I'm Felton, and I'm just here, normal.
And I'm Triple B, and yeah, I'm as normal as I ever get.
Yeah, normal's overrated, guys. I'm sorry. It's just way overrated. Alright, so some things to discuss. First off, The Witcher keeps looking better and better. Excited about that. I guess Henry Carvel? Or maybe I'm just thinking about the...
Cavill?
Maybe I'm just thinking about the... Cavill, thank you, because maybe I was just thinking about those like ice cream cakes. The Carvel, like the Fudgy the Whale and that kind of stuff.
Not to be mistaken with the heir of the Carvel fortune, Henry Carvel.
Empire. So apparently he wants to continue playing Superman, though he doesn't feel like he's done with the whole Superman role. And honestly, he's a great Superman. So, whatever DC decides to do with whatever BS that they're doing with their company right now, as far as movies are concerned, I'd love to see them keep him on for Superman. What do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, whatever he wants to do. I mean, they've swapped around characters so much. I feel like if they continue to do it, they're going to lose their fans. You can only replace a character so many times before everybody just kind of shrugs it off and goes, "Okay, this is lame. I can't do this anymore."
I actually had no problem with Henry Cavill Superman. Well, I have issues with Man of Steel, and I won't get into that because that was once a 3-hour podcast. Henry Cavill's fine. I wouldn't mind him continuing this.
Yeah, it's not the actors that DC's having an issue with. It's the actual writers, directors, stories. They're just screwing around with so much stuff that's not. It's not panning out, basically. Put it that way.
Yeah, but I said the same thing about Green Lantern. I had no problem with the actors they chose. So
Yeah, exactly. I thought they had a great cast for Green Lantern. Real quick, I just want to point out that this is a Hanging with Web show exclusive. We do one of these a week, as well as our normal podcast. So if you like what you're hearing here, please head over to Nerds United Brevard and like and subscribe our channel over there, where you'll hear more of pretty much the same. I mean, we pretty much do the same here that we do over there, if I'm not mistaken. I want to commend both Triple B and Felton. I was gone for 2 podcasts from a sickness that was trying to take my life and my soul and my money. It was absolutely terrible. I still have a bit of a cough, so if I do cough during this podcast, I apologize. But man, you guys stepped up and just... It was phenomenal. I was thinking to myself, they don't even need me. Like, the two of them could just do the podcast.
Was this sickness like a loot goblin? It was like taking your items and money. Like, is it?
Pretty much, yeah. wish somebody had smacked it so we'd given them back.
Punching you in the back of the lung, like, give me your money.
So, are you just totally stuck on this whole next installment of Diablo? Is that what it is?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm glued to updates, and I just want to point out, not to jump back to the Witcher thing or Henry Cavill, but they did order
Carvel. I believe it's Carvel.
Henry
like
Carvel,
cakes.
the ice cream. They ordered a season 2 already, sight unseen. Like season 1's not out yet. And they already billed for like, we're doing a season 2. So this, I'm super okay with that.
I'm seeing a lot of this actually. They did that with The Boys. They did, they ordered a second season before that was even completed. And Neil Gaiman has a new show coming out. The Sandman. He's going to be doing The Sandman, I believe, with Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And they haven't even done a preview of that yet, and they've already ordered a second season. So
yeah, I don't care. It gets all my money.
Shut up and take my money.
Right. It could just be like Neil Gaiman drawing stick figures, and I just throw them.
It could be just Neil Gaiman reading the back of cereal boxes over and over again.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
I mean, like the same cereal box, like Apple Jacks. He's just like, ingredients include sugar with sugar and fructose sugar.
Next week on Neil Gaiman Reads, Captain Crunch.
I would totally be down with that. I don't know about you guys, but I've been lost down the rabbit hole of Disney Plus. It's been consuming my life lately. The Mandalorian, of course, is really good. I love the 2 episodes I've seen so far. The 3rd one I'll be watching tonight.
Ooh.
It's I don't. What is his name? The director and writer for that.
Is it Jon Favreau?
Thank you. Jon Favreau has really just. He's, as far as nerdom is concerned, he's a god among nerds. All the stuff he's done with the Marvel movies, all the stuff he's done with the Star Wars cartoons. I mean, the guy is just amazing. And apparently he's extremely talented. He can dance, he can sing, he can cook, he can eat. They have a Netflix special, it's like The Chef, which is the movie that he did. They did like a cooking show about that, where he just hangs out with like celebrities and stuff and cooks items
I've
from
seen clips, yeah.
the movie he did. Oh, it's fantastic. You'll be stuck if you actually watch it. You'll be stuck watching all the way through. But you'll see all these little talents that he has on top of that. You're just like, seriously, like I'm glad they made him, not like the greatest looking guy in the world, because that would just be unfair. If he had all these talents and he was just gorgeous,
Right.
that would be unfair.
I think for as much as he doesn't get enough credit. He really is a like you said, god among geekery. But I do have to correct you. We were talking about this new show on Disney Plus, and you said it was called The Mandalorian. I do believe it's actually the Baby Yoda show.
You're right. You are correct. I apologize. It is the Baby Yoda show, and I'm okay with that. Like, that's the most adorable thing I've ever seen. Like, it blows poor Gizmo out of the water.
Yeah.
Absolutely adorable. But I do have some questions. Now, I have not seen one diaper change, one feeding, one nap time. That, like, by the end of this series, that is going to be one cranky ass Yoda. Like, there's going to be some issues that they're going to have to deal with.
He only poops Force ghosts. They just.
It's gonna be a giant little dookie takes. Ooh, look at that! See, he's even
telling
eating this the frog.
Yeah, that's adorable, by the way. Like, he's chasing the frog around, and then he's just like get that out of your mouth. He's like, oh, just eats it straight up.
The oldest baby ever.
I did not know that the guy that plays the Mandalorian was one of my favorite characters in Game of Thrones, though.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea, and I was blown away to find that out. That was awesome.
That was part of the reason why when they were in development of it, I was like, wait a minute, they've got this guy, they got Pedro Pascal, like, that's fantastic. I'm on board with this show.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully they don't bring the mountain on, because then we'll just know that's the end of the show.
Yeah. Freaking what's his name? What's that actor's name?
The guy that does the stuff?
It's like some Swedish name,
he's got
right?
The thing? I don't know what you're talking about. From where?
The mountain. I have
no idea.
He's got some Swedish name like you wouldn't believe.
Like Fergus Bargain.
Hold on, let me see here. It is oh yeah. Half poor Julius Bjornsson.
That sounds like the beginning of a delicious treat, and then a last name.
Christ, man, that's an awesome name. I missed out. I'm jealous. That's it.
It'd be amazing because he doesn't ever talk in the show. Really, I would love to hear him like talk in real life. Like, does he sound like the Swedish Chef? Like a really buff version of the Swedish Chef?
Actually, I think he has a decent voice. Like the dude, I've seen interviews with him. He could do a lot more talking roles. Like, guy's a good actor.
Well, that's disappointing then, because I was hoping he'd be like, Shorgan, Shorgan, Bargain.
Well, it's something with like all of the Skarsgårds, right? Like,
yeah,
there's just something about these guys where like they're naturally good. They're naturally good actors. Like,
and the one has the ability to actually make his eyes go in 2 different directions. So that's pretty amazing.
Oh, Bill! Oh my God.
Yeah,
Bill's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I thought that was computer animated. I didn't realize he was actually doing that.
No, he can make a real creepy face. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You know, he started like having a little bit of I don't want to say like mental issues because that's not the right connotation, but he actually started having like I don't want to say like split personality dreams, but dreams where he was Pennywise in some dreams, dreams where Pennywise was stalking him, and he was doing all this crazy, you know, psychopathic stuff, and it just sounded really, you know, crazy what he went through playing that character, and then to have to go back to it for the sequel, you know, it just seems like, I guess from his perspective, you know, that's how his brain dealt with, you know, what he was doing, you know, because it was crazy and mean, like terrorizing these children, you know.
Sounds like a Tuesday to me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I wonder if Curry had any of those issues, or he was just like no, it's fine, bro. I'm good. I'm Tim Curry. Like, I got no issue.
Right?
I don't think he had a problem. That was just, you know, again, for him that was a Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm Tim Curry. Like, look at my repertoire of movies. Like, you really think I care about scaring kids? Oh man. So, all right, Mr. Felton, let's hear what's going on in the gaming world. If we
Oh
can.
my God. Okay, so here's my news flash. All right, 3D Realms. Felton's news flash. So 3D Realms has come out. You know how they had Ion Fury, right? That was a 8-bit, you know, Duke Nukem shooter style game, right? Where they completely revamped the build engine. Well, now they're releasing a game based off of the Quake 1 engine. It's called Wraith, Aeon of Ruin. Looks absolutely phenomenal. They did the same thing where they completely revamped the engine, textures. I mean, it looks absolutely incredible. Price point of $23. It's on sale right now. Normally $24. So you can check that out. That's pretty cool. So that's my classic gaming news. Basically, we're just gonna everything else can get skipped. Jedi Fallen Order happened. You know, that's cool. You can look at that. Valve
Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Pokemon Sword and Shield. Sure. Yeah, whatever. Nobody cares because they finally, after God knows how many years, I don't even want to count. 12, 13 years, something like that, whatever it's been, they have released a new Half-Life game. It's going to be called Half-Life Alyx, and it's going to follow the adventures of Alex Vance in a VR adventure. So I'm blown away. The trailer ends. I don't know if you haven't seen it yet. I'm going to spoil it for you. The trailer ends with your classic G-Man walking into the shot from darkness, and I got chills watching it. Oh my God, it was so frickin' good. So I'm so frickin' excited for this.
Now this is VR though, isn't it?
Yes, it's going to be
Okay.
VR. So I don't know if they are going to. Again, they could throw a curveball and they could release a non-VR version, who knows, but it looks like they are making a bid for Valve Index, their go-to VR system, so they want you to buy it. So this is what they're doing. Now the system specs look a bit high, so those of you with Core i5 processors and are barely scraping by on the minimum specs, you are going to need to upgrade, because So Core i5 7500, 12 gigs of RAM, and at least a 6 gigabyte video card. So this is well above other minimum specs. And when you look at the graphics, you can see why. I mean, these are next-gen graphics. This is Source Engine 2.0. So this is going to be the latest and greatest of the Source Engine. So it looks like it's going to be incredible. Now, from what I've read of the trailer, it looks like the story is going to follow Alex through various points in the game up to the ending of episode 2, I think it was. So we have the opportunity here to possibly see from her perspective what happened, and maybe we'll finally get the conclusion we've been waiting for so many damn years. And we'll be able to see, for the first time, the game from somebody else's perspective where, you are playing alongside Gordon Freeman, which would be kind of curious. Thoughts?
I don't know how I feel about this. Only because I feel like we've been waiting forever, like you said, for a third installment or something like that, and this just seems like just more stretching out the end, as it were. Like, I don't feel like this is going to actually conclude the series, and if that's the case, it's like, I don't know, we're taking another romp in the Half-Life arena. Okay, I love those games, so they've got great story, great ideas, but again, I really want at least a conclusion, like a trilogy conclusion to the first Half-Life story, because it was left off that way. It was left off where it needed a conclusion,
Oh, of
and
course.
I don't know how I feel about another game or a game where we're just going and we're just gonna kind of revamp what happened in the other two games and not really conclude anything,
No, and
I've never
I
played
agree.
the Half-Life game, so I have no opinion.
Well, I'm pointing out in the chat, one thing I did notice is they did make the G-Man look a lot more like the dad from Modern Family. He looks just like Ty Burrell. At least to me, I think he does. I don't know. As he gets older,
A lot like that, yeah.
Ty looks more and more like him. So there's everybody's fan casting for the Half-Life movie, of course,
Which, well, it can't happen because we don't have a conclusion to the games.
We don't know what happens, so they gotta finish this first. Like, what the hell?
I'm not trying to sound bitter. I'm just bitter.
Oh, of course, everybody's bitter, but that's what happens. You have a game studio that went into. They just happened to make one of the most popular content distribution systems, made a ton of money, got into developing other games, and didn't really have the need to conclude the story. And once and I'm wondering now if we're going to have more content come out now that the index is out. It's available for purchase for what, a grand? Yeah, Valve Index at $999. So, hopefully we're going to start seeing more games. Now, they delayed Team Fortress 2. I do know that. So, or Team Fortress 2...
3?
2?
2 point... Oh, so they're not even trying to do a third one? See, that's... Oh, don't do this to us! Like, just give us a third installment, Give us a fully fleshed out third game.
Gabe is, he's afraid of... he's afraid of the number 3.
Obviously. Anyways, I don't know. I can't stay on this one for a while. So, Beard Bard, why don't you save us with some of that sweet Kickstarter?
I do have some quick Kickstarter news. Before we get into that, I have some comic book news I want to discuss real quick.
Ooh, comic book news.
Yeah. So, Bleeding Cool announced today, I don't know if you've heard about Mad Cave Comic Books is launching one of their new titles, Savage Bastards.
Oh man, I haven't seen the Bleeding Cool thing yet. No, I haven't. But wow, I really appreciate that. I appreciate that plug. Sorry, pardon the cough there. If we're actually gonna get into that, I had an interview today with Constricting Comics, and we discussed the process of creating Savage Bastards and such. It went really well. It should be up later this afternoon, which since this podcast will come out next week, it'll be already up by the time this podcast comes out. But I will have plastered it on like the nub and my own comic book writing page. But man, see, this is like best friend material right here. When you got somebody else that's willing to promote your stuff for you, like That's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I saw this and I had to. I mean, I'm so excited for you, and yeah. I mean,
I'm
madly
not.
jealous. Don't get me wrong, but really
Oh,
excited.
I get that. If you can later maybe send me like a link to that. I haven't even seen that yet, so that would be awesome.
Yeah,
And then
sure.
I can share it all. Then I can share it all over the place shamelessly. Like print out the actual article and like just hand it out to people who come out of the grocery store and stuff, and
Frame it.
it'd be awesome. Yeah. So other than buttering me up and making me feel a little bit better, especially with this like deep raspy voice that I got going on right now, I feel like I should do like movie promos or something, like in a world where one man almost dies from a plague. Anyways, tell us about that sweet Kickstarter news there, Triple B.
So I've actually got a friend of mine who is starting his own comic book, running it through Kickstarter. He's calling it Windsurfer, and is Hawaii's first superhero.
Okay, I'm liking the sound of that. Do you have like a synopsis?
I have. She's 15 years old, and I'm just gonna let everybody else read the Kickstarter page because I'm gonna butcher some of these Hawaiian names, like
I understand.
so bad. And Makani Kamiloha. Yeah, that's my best at times.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, we can let them read it, but
Yeah.
so she's a superhero from Hawaii, huh?
Right.
And
She speaks words into her Aloha-powered magic cell phone. She accesses the powers of her mightiest ancestors and becomes Windsurfer.
Well, that's kind of cool. So it's like kind of combining a little bit of the past with a little bit of the present. Now, my question though is like, what if she gets really bad cell reception? Does that like affect her powers? That would actually be kind of a that'd be kind of a like if she's like roaming and stuff like that. Does she get like the cheap gods like?
That's amazing.
That's exactly where I'd take that. No, but it would be fun, like, Spider-Man runs out of his web fluid.
Exactly, like that.
Cell service.
That would be really cool. Like she's fighting some big bad, and all of a sudden, all she gets is like the god of like conch shells or some shit. Like
Starts throwing shells at him.
she's only got like one bar.
Now, I do want to point out that it's not technically accurate because Hawaii's first female superhero was clearly Tulsi Gabbard. Or at least she's my personal superhero. Not that I'm making a political statement, but I think Tulsi's pretty fantastic.
This is not the political podcast.
Entertaining, at least.
Yes. Oh my goodness. See, as soon as you said Hawaiian superhero, I just started thinking, I've been staring at the water for as long as I can remember.
That's what everybody compares it to, unfortunately. But
there's nothing you can do about that. I mean,
right? Yeah. So, but it is set in modern days, and and I love the artwork. He does it all himself, and gorgeous stuff. And it's got, I think, just over 60 hours.
That's fantastic. I'll have to check that out. Now, is he himself Hawaiian, or did he just like research? Oh, okay, that's even better. Okay, so
lives in Hawaii. He is Hawaiian himself.
So it's something that's close to him, something that he really is connected to.
About.
That's fantastic. I love that. I wonder if I was to do something that I was passionate about, it would be like eating burgers or something, or but that's already been done. Like they've
Brevard.
Jughead. There you go. Like I am pretty passionate about Brevard. So
Homer Simpson already exists, so I'm good.
Exactly. I do have to say that I joined a group. I don't know if it's a secret society, so maybe I shouldn't talk too much about it, but of local Brevard comic book creators who are coming together to kind of help each other, give each other a hand up in the comic book world, and we'll be meeting for the first time in December. Pretty excited about that, to be even included at the table, because everybody else actually has a book out already, and they did it themselves, so I kind of feel like a phony in a way, because these guys like put the blood, sweat, tears, money, like everything in to get their book out, and I respect all of them in the group, and I really am honored to even be included in it, because again, like I said, these guys did it all their own, and I commend that like you would not believe. I mean, it's amazing.
Sure. I mean, yeah, that commands.
Mm-hmm. And they've been successful, for the most part at it. I mean, Most of them have had their stuff kickstarted or, sold in local stores and stuff. So, again, it's gonna be awesome just to be included at the table. So with do you guys both have Disney Plus now?
Yeah.
Do either of you have Verizon?
No.
Oh, because I got Disney Plus for free because I have Verizon. Ooh. Not that I'm bragging. I'm not bragging or nothing like that. But I
am. Yeah, you're bragging a little bit. It's a little brag, but
yeah.
So what has it? What humble brag? What have you guys been hooked on lately on there so far?
I have been introducing my children to the '90s X-Men.
Oh.
Which is great, and also I haven't watched it in years, so I forgot how just awful some of it was.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, for the time, it was the best thing on TV. Like, we were so starved for geeky content that this was just amazing, and it touched on stories that you were never going to see anywhere else. And but there were some of the dialogue, especially the first few episodes, was just god awful. Yeah.
Yeah, Foxtel and I were discussing that actually about how they just went there, like the Dark Phoenix saga. They did not shy away from the whole space part of it and, the trial and all that kind of stuff. Whereas there's been 2 live action movies done where they have not done it justice at all. And it's just been this like piddly little, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just not, it has not been at all the Dark Phoenix saga. The Dark Phoenix saga is a big event.
And a long time ago, I would have said it's because some things don't translate well onto the big screen. Like, for example, I thought when they came out with the second Fantastic Four movie and they made Galactus a cloud, I was like, that's okay because I don't think Galactus would translate to the big screen well. But I think Marvel Studios has completely debunked that. And if you have somebody who's passionate about it and willing to make the proper changes, you can be true to the source material and make it work on the big screen.
Wait a minute. I never saw the second one, so they turned Galactus into a fart?
Basically, giant space fart.
Yeah, he was just this big cosmic cloud that was vaguely in the shape of his helmet, kind of a vague representation of his helmet, and had almost eyes. And it was almost like maybe he was there inside the cloud and just hasn't broken through yet. It was terrible. It was bad. Yeah.
The worst part is that this fart had been around the galaxy, so it had already terrorized so many other planets.
He's silent but deadly.
Extremely silent but deadly. Exactly.
My memory of the X-Men show, and I know we've talked about this before, is just Wolverine. It may have only happened once or twice, but all I can think of is Wolverine going, Jean! Just screaming her name, just like...
Well, what's even better is in the Japanese version, where it's like, Jinua! It's even better. It's funny, Foxtel has an X-Men anime. It's an animated movie, but or an anime movie about the X-Men, but it's subtitled, right? So they've still got the original voice actors in there, and that's Wolverine. He goes, Jinua! It's like, whoa, relax. So,
my favorite Wolverine will always be the Australian one from Pride of the X-Men.
Oh, that good old fashioned. That was that one-time pilot, right? To get people to start to watch the show.
Right. Yeah.
'Cause I really kind of wish they kept that. Crikey, bub.
Yeah, I like.
I'm straight. I'm right out of Canada, mate. But
and
what about you, Felton?
X-Men cartoon.
My favorite X-Men or Saturday morning cartoon.
Well, hold on. What were you saying there, Triple B? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say this GIF reminded me that the X-Men cartoon is what made me initially hate Cyclops because he's the biggest douche in this.
He is a pretty big douche, actually. What about you? What's your favorite Disney Plus, or what has been occupying your time on Disney Plus there, Felton?
So I don't know whose idea it was to give Jeff Goldblum a show,
Oh my god.
But
I'm sorry.
this is a gift to the world. I mean, him just like running around, being eccentric, going onto a battleship, giving naval officers ice cream that he designed. Like, if there could be any more whimsy in this show, I don't know if it's possible. But
so
it's amazing.
What you're saying, I from what I can tell, is the shoe is not just a aesthetic. It's a set of mind. When he was talking about the sneaker thing, I was, oh my god! It was like, who let their eccentric uncle out on the prowl at a sneaker convention? Like, it was crazy, but it was hilarious.
Guys, we need something. We need something unique, something that's never been done before. All right, Steven, I got an idea. Are you ready for it? If you know what? Yes, we're ready for it. Let's give Jeff Goldblum the show. All right, let's do it. Hit the button. And they have like a button set up at like Disney, studios, wherever this is happening. They're Imagineers, and guy just presses the button, and then Jeff Goldblum sitting at home, and there's a kind of like a bat phone there, and then the light starts flashing on it, and he takes his glasses off. And then he just stands up and then, goes, and he's ready to go. And he already has everything ready. All the interviews ready, already set up. And then, boom, that's how we got the show.
I'm telling you, it's almost crazy. Too crazy to watch, but yet still amazing.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I absolutely love it.
I just feel like I could follow Jeff Goldblum around, period, though. Just like, like, hey, you want to get some ice cream? And then just have like some weird random experience while we're in the ice cream shop, period.
Oh, I cried during the ice cream episode. He's sitting there and he's talking to, he's like all up close and intimate with some of these naval officers on this boat. And he's like, tell me what you feel. I mean, what was a childhood memory that this ice cream evokes, in your heart? And then you had these like grown ass adults like, remembering these, wonderful moments in their childhood. And I'm like, I was so damn touched by this. I'm like, Jeff Goldblum, you warlock, how are you doing this?
Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Well, I think we're about at that time now. So we're going to do the Die of Destiny, and since I was absent the last two, I will go ahead and roll myself. And let's have Triple B roll and either add, subtract, or do nothing with his roll to my roll.
All right, I actually have something to show you guys for this roll. I came prepared.
Okay.
Let's see, one of my infamous Kickstarters came through.
Oh, is it the dice with the grave dirt and stuff in it?
It's a giant dice. I've posted it to the pictures here and the chat, and with a regular D20 for size comparison, this thing is ginormous, and I love it, and it could give somebody a concussion. This is huge.
I just love hearing guys brag about their dice size. Like, it's huge. God, it is a big die, though.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll mine, and hopefully not put a hole in my...
Yeah, I was going to say.
You're a loud crash.
15. Right?
15?
Yep.
And what are you doing with that 15?
Let's subtract.
All right. I don't like that, but okay. Ooh, and I rolled a 16, which means I got a 1. Exactly. Oh, that's terrible. Okay. Real quick, because my battery's going to die too. Okay, so a terrible, terrible story. What do we got? Oh man, this is rough. I was really hoping that I wasn't going to have to do this.
Do you have any fun sick stories that you had over the last couple weeks?
Oh, actually, yes. Let's talk about that. So, I have never in my life before hallucinated, right? But let me tell you how fun an experience that is, especially when you're sleeping. So my electrolytes at one point in time, while I've been sick, got so low that I actually began to have dream hallucinations that were coupled with sleep paralysis, which I've never had before, and it was absolutely terrifying. So here's what happened. I would fall asleep. I would have some dream about time travel where I had to fix something in order to save the world or whatever the case may be is, right? And every time I would get it wrong, and I would wake up, and I'd be like, wow, that was messed up, and I would go back to sleep and start the same exact dream over again, knowing what I had to do to fix it, not being able to do that thing to fix it, and start, and wake up again. And this happened like 6 or 7 times in a row. And while this was happening, I was realizing that I was, dream hallucinating, but I could not actually move or get out of bed or wake up. I couldn't get out of it. So I had to sit through the whole thing, and it wasn't anything scary. There wasn't like monsters or people trying to kill me, but at some point in time, every time, my entire body would just heat up to like the maximum before I woke up. So not only did I have this crappy dream over and over again, but I was also waking up sweating, right before I woke up. So it was just miserable. Had that happen all through the night. In the morning, about 4:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, I just couldn't do it anymore. And I got out of bed, and I sat in the living room, and I watched a little TV. I drank some fluids. I wasn't feeling good enough to really eat yet, so of course I didn't replace my electrolytes. Didn't realize my electrolytes were messed up. Ended up falling asleep again and started over again, but this time a different dream, but the same exact result, where it was something I had to accomplish, didn't accomplish it, wake up, start the whole cycle over again. That happened until roughly 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was caught in that loop for a long, long time. Got up, went in the shower, like sat in the bottom of the shower, like freaking out, like what is going on? And finally it dawned on me that my sodium levels must be extremely low because I have not been eating and drinking Gatorade or anything like that. We were out of the Gatorade for the night. So I asked my fiance to go to the store and get some Gatorade for me. I downed half a Gatorade, got to eat like a cup of chicken noodle soup from Campbell's, and it finally went away. But man, for almost 2 days, for more than a day and a half, I was caught in a hallucinogenic dream state that I couldn't get out of until it completed the process of the dream. Never had anything like that in my life, and it frightened the hell out of me.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. It was absolutely psychotic.
So what you're saying is that's not supposed to happen.
Listen, old man, we don't want to hear about your dream problems that your sleep apnea machine tries to strangle you in the night, or your fiance tries to strangle you in the night because of your sleep apnea machine, or because you're taking it off and you're snoring. We don't want to hear any of that stuff. All right.
I mean, I guess.
You will survive. I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Well, I'm happy to be back on the podcast. Again, this was a exclusive for Hanging with Web Show. Please check out the other content on their YouTube channel. A lot of great stuff on there. One of my favorites is the Kitchen Killers. Love those guys. They sing and make food, and it's phenomenal. Make sure you also go check us out on our YouTube channel, which is Nerd United in Brevard. We will be putting a podcast up once a week there as well. So if you can't get enough of our obnoxious conversations or weird thought processes, or just me being mean to the other two people on the show, then by all means, please go check us out there. But for now, we'll go ahead and end this one. I'm the Murse.
And I'm the big, burly, beautiful, bald-bearded bard from beyond.
Oh wow, I like that. I did not like Felton, so that was very creepy. Actually, I got like icky feelings from that. But anyways, have a good day. Bye.